You've made memories for a lifetime, and you still have so much in front of you. As I reflect on all you've experienced, I've learned that we cannot always be prepared for what is next. Just look around. We're holding graduation in the middle of July. And yet, what I've learned about this class is that you will adapt. You will see what needs to be done. You will find a way to do it. Maybe you dressed up for prom and took pictures. Maybe you celebrated your birthday parade style. Maybe you learned new hobbies or resurrected your love for Call of Duty. No matter what, your graduating experience has taught you and everyone else you will continue to move forward and make the best of the situation at hand. I want to thank you for the last 4 years, which, as you know, were my first as principal. You helped to build and support a culture that I believe makes us a special place and unlike any other. You are an amazing group and mean more to me than I could possibly put into words. And I thank you for that. Now go do what you do and be great. Congratulations. At this time, our senior class officer is going to come forward to recognize their advisors. Class Vice President Kate Barton and Class Secretary Sarah Hammerstone will be sharing a few words. They're joined by Anya Gimos, Jason Kelly, and KJ Moore.
Hello everyone. My name is Kate Barton, and I'm very happy and especially grateful to be up here with my good friend and fellow class officer, Sarah Hammerstone, to speak to you all today. We have all been through a lot in the past 12 years, and especially in the last 4 months. But through everything, we're here today, and that's what matters. Sarah and I are up here to recognize two of the many, many people who have helped us get here and definitely made the journey a very memorable one. There's a quote that reads, "Great leaders create more leaders, not followers." When I look around at the faces of this class, I see many great leaders. I see sports captains who know how to lead teams to championships and through pandemics. I see writers who lead riveting discussions in our AP English classes. I see activists who fearlessly spark up debates in history class and in the streets of Tingsboro. I see Broadway fans who will lead their whole group of friends through the crowds of New York City just to get to a shop that they're looking for. I see some STEM majors who aren't afraid to lead the robotics club to hold not one, but 2 successful school dances. I even see a few leaders that will convince their whole class to get dismissed and go to Dunkin' Donuts for the whole period. So today, we thank 2 leaders that helped to shape the 110 leaders that are sitting here today, our class advisors. As class officers and simply as members of the class of 2020, Sarah and I have been lucky to work directly with Mr. Leiden and Mr. Messina for the past 4 years to do much of the behind-the-scenes work that makes high school special.
Thank you, Kate. As class officers, we hold a weight of responsibility to grant our class with memories that will last a lifetime. However, we cannot do it alone. I had the opportunity to serve as a class officer for 2 years, and I must say that before I was elected, I wasn't sure what to expect. The whole idea seemed a little daunting, and I had absolutely no idea how we were going to raise thousands of dollars to pay for everything. Who knew being a high school student was so expensive? Nevertheless, Mr. Leiden and Mr. Messina were always there, listening to not only the ideas of myself and the rest of the class officers, but also the thoughts and concerns of our entire class. Our advisors exhibited the true values of teachers, and that's putting students first no matter what. Even when no one asked them to, they made sure to stay late and help us get materials in order to build our long overdue winning homecoming wall. Not to mention, Mr. Messina always created ideas for our class t-shirts with his graphic design skills. Lastly, we can't forget about when Mr. Leiden would help us sell our baseball hats while simultaneously coaching the football team at the same time. Mr. Leiden and Mr. Messina have been gracious enough to dedicate themselves and their time to our class for the past 4 years. With that said, on behalf of the class of 2020, I want to thank our advisors for standing by our sides and guiding us all the way from our first day of high school to right now at our graduation. Thank you, Mr. Messina and Mr. Leiden, for being with us every step of the way and for all your constant support. We couldn't have done it without you. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Messina and Mr. Lyden to the stage so we can give them a token of our gratitude.
I probably should have just had Anya stay on the stage because she's up next. Next up, we'll be hearing from one of our co-class presidents, Anya Gimos.
Good morning, THS faculty, administration, families, and of course, my fellow class of 2020 graduates. Let me first take this opportunity to congratulate each and every one of you sitting in this crowd today wearing your vibrant red gowns and decorated caps. I am beyond honored and humbled to have been able to be a part of this amazing group of individuals and to have grown up for the last 12 years with all of you. Now, as we forge ahead down our own paths, know each will be filled with both the unknowns and limitless opportunities. As our path grows with us, we must never forget to stay true to ourselves and embrace who we are. I know the journey may get lonely and scarce, but it's up to you to have the courage to move forward and make your mark on this world. This is brilliantly stated by Hans F. Hansen. It takes nothing to join the crowd. It takes everything to stand alone. As we take some time to reflect on what the past 12 years have brought to us, you may notice there are places in which you wish you would have stood up for what you believed in or wanted. But don't dwell too much on the past. Although I believe it is important to take what you learned from those years, remember each morning you wake up is a new day to live how you want to. So seize every opportunity thrown to you and never shy away from a challenge. I can remember the first taste of freedom we all experienced together. This was during the infamous Washington, D.C. trip. For many, this was the longest period of time away from their parents. Some felt homesick, while others thrived off this new adventure. This trip reminds me of what many of us are going to experience this fall, as we all take our different paths. Some of us will leave for college, while others will start new jobs. But regardless, we are all leaving the comfort of our Tyngsboro community and the watchful eye of our parents and guardians. We gained insightful information during our high school experience and grew more into the people we are today. The faculty began to treat us as adults, and we had to learn to face challenges on our own. Many of us started taking AP courses and trying out for the sports teams or play. We had to learn to push ourselves on our own and strive for our own successes. To this day, I still look at my bills, or biointeractive learning logs, from AP Biology with Rav, and I just laugh about the stress of gearing up for a timed test, or dissecting the cats and being horrified at the amount of oil and fat in some of them. But on a less graphic note, THS has also offered us the ability to learn humility and gratefulness. We have collected meals for those who are not in a place to put Thanksgiving dinner on the table. Groups of us have gone down to Florida and served at Give Kids the World. But even if you weren't involved in a massive volunteer project, each and every one of you sitting in this audience has done something to help others. Volunteering doesn't have to be some big, extravagant event. It can be as simple as I have learned, by smiling and saying good morning. So I challenge all of you to strive to make a difference. And before we all leave and go our separate ways, it's okay to acknowledge that things may never be the same. But take these last 4 years we had together and cherish the good, the bad, and the ugly, because they taught us to adapt, overcome, and reach for our fullest potential. Remember where you started and use this to gauge your success. Everyone's will look different, but know you can only go up, just like the saying from our freshman year homecoming, where the class banner was based off of Walt Disney's movie Up. I would like to again congratulate all in attendance today. You have all battled through these crazy 4 years of high school, and we have finally reached the end. And it is now time to go out and choose what we want to do. I would also like to thank all the parents, siblings, and our families out there that pushed us to keep going and to get us where we are today. I will now leave you with the words of wisdom of Doc Rav, who shared a powerful and insightful quote with me by Simon Sinek. Working hard for something we don't care about is called stress, but working hard for something we love is called passion. Go out in the world, make your mark, and find your true passion. Thank you, and all the best. I would now like to introduce Jason Kelly, the other co-class president.
Hello, and good morning, everyone. My name is Jason Kelly, and I'm speaking as co-president on behalf of the graduating class of 2020. Thank you to the administration, faculty, our class advisors, and my fellow class officers for the countless hours you've put in to make sure that we, the class of 2020, have the graduation ceremony that we deserve, but also for the years of support, hard work, and guidance. Honestly, I don't know any other school who had the principal and administration hand-deliver every single diploma, cap, and gown. So thank you for everything you've done. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Anya Gimos, my co-president, and the calm to my chaos. Your devotion to helping others and making this world a better place is truly inspirational, and there's no doubt you'll make a difference in this world. As I stood in front of you at the start of 9th grade, I gave a speech in hopes that you would elect me as your freshman class president. Honestly, who would have thought that we'd be where we are now? Our amazing class of 2020 is going down in the history books as the most resilient, adaptable, and courageous class to have ever walked across the stage to receive our diplomas. How many of us have heard the same stories from our parents and grandparents that they've walked 2 miles to school uphill, barefoot, and in the snow? Well, after what we've been through in the last 5 months, I think we might have a better story to tell our grandchildren. When we were incoming freshmen, we were without any knowledge of the school traditions, and we weren't sure how to decorate a homecoming wall, and we sure as heck didn't know where to find the hidden tiger. Well, except for Kaylee McCulloch, of course, who's found a way to stumble upon the tiger statue 4 times. Many of us believed there was a beautiful in-ground pool on the 3rd floor, and up until the very end, many of us were still checking books in the library for the hidden $100 bill left there by a former student. You may not remember, but as a skinny, well, skinnier, little wide-eyed freshman, I presented our class with 3 goals to achieve before graduation. I stood before you with the hopes for the next 4 years. Together we would fight, cheat, and steal. Well, we made it. And yes, we fought, we cheated, and we stole. We fought for what makes us great, we cheated Father Time, and we stole precious memories together. We fought through athletic competitions, theater competitions, and DECA districts. We have athletes who fought to break records, like Katie Hernowitz, who broke the 1,000-point record for our school. We have classmates who have fought for the community, like Julia Kay, who was recognized at the Celtics game for her work with recycling and reducing the use of plastic in our community. Actually, I happened to be at that Celtics game, and I was quite upset that Julia got on the Jumbotron after I was trying for the past 10 years. We have cheated Father Time by keeping our inner child alive in us and not letting time pass too quickly. Like when Phil Sutherland asked to play hockey in the middle of one of our very serious basketball practices. Or when we had the entire school decorate the gym to look like Nickelodeon TV shows that we watched since we were 4. Or Derek Bailey, for example, who never quite learned how to keep his voice down in the library. We have stolen precious moments by sticking together from kindergarten through high school graduation. We have special moments on our phones. We post endlessly on Snapchat and Instagram. Our families have frozen our moments on Facebook. But through it all, it's the small things, like the good mornings in the hall or the laughs after school waiting for a ride. We captured these moments when we went on our trips to Chick-fil-A and Chipotle, and we've traveled the world together and learned about children in need. The excitement of the band stood up in the catwalk, ushering us into Christmas break. We've given hugs and goodbyes as we send our classmates off to the military. Never forget these moments that we have stolen for ourselves. It's evident that our futures won't be without obstacles, but if there's one thing we've learned, we never know what's around the next corner. So make the most of now. Fight for what you're passionate about, cheat time and never let your inner child go, and steal and appreciate every meaningful moment that you can. Together, we have lost out on our senior week, our official prom, and our exciting grad night festivities. We were forced to say abrupt goodbyes and often no goodbyes at all. But through it all, we've definitely created memories that will last us a lifetime. As you head off to your next challenge, make that chapter an unforgettable one. Be present, be positive, and be kind. Take pride in being the unforgettable class of 2020 and hold your head high. Throughout my life, my mom has always sung her high school fight song. I've never understood it until now. I am proud to be part of the Tyngsboro family, and I will always be a Tyngsboro Tiger. Congratulations, class of 2020. You'll be remembered forever. I'd now like to introduce our Tyngsboro High School valedictorian, KJ Moore.
Good job, buddy. I would've got that.
Whenever people ask me what I'm scared of, I usually only respond with small spaces. But after being asked to write a speech for graduation, I realized I was scared of that too. I wasn't scared that I'd be talking in front of a lot of people or that I'd mess up, but rather I was scared because I was forced to accept a simple fact. It's over. There would be no more puzzles in the library, no more heated games of floor hockey where someone breaks a stick, no more sprinting around the halls as everyone runs to find a tiger statue, no more morning coffee talks with Mr. Manning, no more walking by gym class and hearing Derek yelling out his own comedy special, no more going to basketball games to see Dylan, Josh, Nolan, and Tommy hyping up the crowd, no more early morning pancake fundraisers, no more walking to the bathroom only to find out that it's locked, and maybe worst of all, no more of those kinda underbaked cookies in the lunchroom that everyone either loved or hated. I knew that by writing this, I was accepting a fact that change is coming, and that's why I was scared. But then I got to thinking, change isn't a bad thing. Is there anything that these past few months have taught us is that doing the same thing over and over again can get boring fast. Change is going to happen regardless of if you want it to or not, and the best way to deal with it is to accept it, because oftentimes you won't realize it's for the better until after it's already happened. I mean, just look at all the change we've gone through in the past 4 years. If we hadn't changed from the day we walked in the door of the high school, Schmitty wouldn't be tall enough to ride a roller coaster, and I'd still have a mohawk, so that alone proves that change can be good. But change isn't something that will always happen naturally. Sometimes change needs a push, and that's what we're here for. The world is in our hands now, and with it is our responsibility to make it a better place. And I know that it might seem like we can't make a difference sometimes, but we can. Students amongst you have already started, such as students Dylan Sanuin and Kate Barton, who, along with other members of our community, helped to organize a Black Lives Matter protest in response to the unjust killing of George Floyd. Or Julia Kay, who wrote a warrant article that passed at a town meeting leading to the ban of single-use plastic bags, and then proceeded to serve a 1-year term on the Town of Tyngsboro Sustainability Committee. Or Alex Kilman, who dedicated his Eagle project to making toddler beds for the Little Wish Project. And although I'm on a strict time limit, I'm not able to mention every single student who individually, tons more have done great things, such as all the students who raised funds for causes important to them in their service learning class. The point I'm trying to make is this. Right now, it is more apparent than ever that almost every aspect of our lives, from the police system to our education system, all the way just to how we treat others, and everything else in between, is in need of change and improvement, and we can be exactly that. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because the truth is, you only have one life, so why waste every day doing something that isn't personally meaningful to you until you're just a sack of regret? Although it's cliche, do what you feel makes the world a better place. A small artist that some of you may know, named J. Cole, and probably a ton of other people too, once said, "Change is slow, always has been, always will be." Maybe the change you want to make will take longer than a single lifetime, and maybe you won't be around to see it. But the fact is, until someone takes a step to make change, it will keep getting pushed off and won't happen. But there is one thing holding you all back from making change, and it's me talking too much, so I'll wrap it up. Firstly, shout out Genesis, because she asked for one. Secondly, I want to thank my family for all the help they provided for me over the years, even though I could be a little annoying. I also want to thank the teachers at Tingsboro for pushing not only me, but all their students to be the best they could possibly be, and also being flexible to continue teaching even after the schools were shut down. And finally, I'd like to thank my classmates for being accepting and friendly and creating a community where I truly wanted to go to school. So, thank you to you all, especially those who repost my upcoming mixtape, and congratulations, you made it.
Thank you, KJ. All right, it's one of my favorite moments of graduation each year, and we were still able to find a way to do it. This year's senior class video was produced by Sam Fagundes and Isabel Gabriel. Please direct your attention to the screen. Great job in putting that together. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Michael Flanagan.
Good morning. Congratulations to the class of 2020. Each year, I get to present the final message on behalf of the Tingsboro Public Schools, and it's truly an honor, and this year is no different. I'll be honest with you, when I saw the forecast was for 96 degrees, I thought it best if I keep my remarks to 96 seconds, so I will be brief so that you can take this much anticipated walk across the stage. But I do want to share a message with you. There's a famous quote that we use in education circles. It talks about preparing students and preparing schools to educate kids. And it's from Richard Riley, the former United States Secretary of Education. And his quote says this: "We are currently preparing students for jobs that don't exist, using technology not yet invented to solve problems that we don't even know are problems yet." Richard Riley said that in 1992. And I believe this quote is applicable today as it was then. Our job is to develop students who can learn from the world they live in and be prepared to make a difference in it. So as an educator, my hope is that the Tingsboro Public Schools taught you how to learn, not just what to learn. I hope we taught you how to understand the world around you, not what to understand about it. And most importantly, I hope that we taught you how to think, not what to think. The last few months have been unprecedented. And for the immediate future, we will continue to live in uncertain times. Now, more than ever, I challenge you, class of 2020, to be reflective, be thoughtful, and be compassionate. We wish you all the very best. You're going to walk across this stage, you're going to get your diploma, and that's your opportunity to go make your mark in history. Congratulations, class of 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Flanagan. When this all started, one of my major goals was, as Dr. Flanagan just said, to walk across the stage and to give you the diploma. It's finally that time. It's my pleasure to introduce Assistant Principal Kate Trainer to announce the class of 2020.
Alexander John Adamiak. Casey Montero Alves. Alexandra J. Messina. Samantha Lee Messina. Kate Steele Eleanor Barton. Jason Max Kelly. Anya Patricia Gimos. Kenneth Wayne Moore, Jr. Sarah Madeline Hammerstone. Mitchell John Anderson. Rachel Christine Avery. Derek Cameron Bailey. Megan Rose Baruli. Amber Grace Bean. Matthew Rudy Beauchesne. Nia Alyssa Bergeron. Aman Hatish Bhagat. Tirth Bharat Bhagat. Jack Austin Boucher. Abby Judith Boville. Madison Karen Boville. Kaylin Elizabeth Bowie. Chloe Laura Brush. Brandon David Kinsella. Alexander Donald Carney. Madison Sky Center. Samantha Nicole Cook. Jenna Marie DeFranzo. Alexandra Nicole Denisovich. Amy Therese Desjardins. Mason Leviathan Dion. Thomas Joseph Dowling. Amanda Claire Drew. Joshua Ryan Ducharme. Isabella Starr Dugan. Samantha Ray Fagundes. Jake Anthony Fahey. Joshua Holt Fairbanks. Morgan Taylor French. Isabel Donahue Gabriel. Ryan David Gauthier. Ashley Elizabeth Gibson. Connor Aaron Graham. Sean Patrick Graham. Audrey Rose Hall. Margaret Jusian Yang. Kelsey Jane Hardigan. Madison Lee Hickey. Abigail Kate Howe. Abigail Rose Hurley. Catherine Mary Hernowitz. Dylan Ryan Highland. Kylie Ann Jarek. Abdullah Ahmed Jassim. Jillian Sabina Jocelyn. Julia Marie Kay. Corey Matthew Kenny. James Charles Kenny, Jr. Ella Ray Kilmartin. Alex Shane Kilman. David Sean Kinsella. Casey Elizabeth Lopalato. Cameron Edward Lorenzo. Jackson Gray Lundberg. Emma Elizabeth Lyman. Trey McKenna Marcantonio. Valentina Marin. James Michael Madison. Kaylee Nicole McCulloch. Kevin Daniel McDonough. Mark Samuel McKennis. Mary Anna McGaffigan. Brian Lawrence McInerney. Micah John McQuaid. Julia Rose Menaker. Nolan Stephen Michaud. Andrew Antonio Morel. Sarah Ann Nocella. Riley Declan O'Hare. Julia Alexis Otero. Lindsay Lee Pannington. Shika Patel. Ephthalia Sophia Pelakudis. Tara Lynn Pelletier. Justin Ryan Provenchal. Andrew Jason Provencher. Nicholas Paul Provencher. Zachary Paul Provencher. Jessica Lynn Peschel. Samuel Martin Richardson. Emily Cynthia Ronan. Kenneth Muriel Russell. Gianna Isabella Sacco. Olivia Gail Sasek. Alexander Michael Schmidt. Dylan Sam Sinuan. Asta Jagat Sani. Olivia Irene Strange. Kolika Sotiana Suwan. Philip Andrew Sutherland. Megan Kathleen Tessier. Genesis Michelle Torres. William Yang Turnquist. Alicia Elizabeth Tyros. Mary Rose Vincent. Justine Olivia Wagner. Allison Victoria Weed. Logan Thomas Went.
I'd like to invite our class officers to the stage for the ceremonial turning of the tassels. I invite the rest of the class of 2020 to please stand. You guys just do a 1, 2, 3 and do it. I am proud to present the Tingsboro High School class of 2020. That's good. Once again, thank you all for joining us this morning. I thank everyone that helped put this together, from the maintenance staff to the admin team to so many other people that I'll forget, so I'll just say everyone. I wish you the best. You're an amazing group. I'll remember if you ever. So thank you. As we leave, I do ask that we try to let the last rows go first. Mo's back there. He'll kind of direct that out and make your way to the parking lot. Congratulations and best of luck.